I'm 17 years old and I'm playing a computer game called RuneScape. And on this game, you have your own character, like your own account, and you have skills that you can level up. And all I'm doing for hours is just power leveling my skill, the range skill, where I'm using a bow and arrow to kill some monsters, and I keep getting a higher level in the skill. Gaining XP, gaining XP, gaining XP. Now I'm going to go to the gym. So I close off the computer, go to the garage where we have a little home gym, and I'm starting to hit a chest day. I'm doing bench press, chest flies, whatever. And as I'm increasing the weight for my chest flies, I've increased it now by like 2 kilograms from a couple of weeks ago. Suddenly it clicks. This is exactly how it works on the game. It is almost blowing my mind of like, whoa, they made skills into a real thing. That's crazy. There's skills that we can level up in real life that will help us infinitely more than leveling up our video game character. The number one skill that young men must level up is discipline. Discipline is the skill of doing the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it. It's not just about doing hard work. If you're motivated to do the hard work, then it's not discipline. Discipline is specifically when you don't actually feel like doing it. So you know those moments when you've got to do the work and you don't feel like it, but you just sit down and you trudge through it? That's discipline. You know what I just said before I started recording this video to my girl who's lying there? This feels difficult. I don't actually really want to be here right now, but the work needs to get done. I'm here. The work needs to get done. I'm here even though my emotions are telling me that they'd rather just me lying around or watch some YouTube videos. I'm getting the work done. The higher your discipline, the more consistently you will show up to those good habits that you've really wanted to integrate into your lifestyle. And also that means the better results that you're going to get in every goal that you care about. So in your fitness goal or your money goals or even your relationship goals, you're literally going to end up getting better results in all of them if you become more disciplined. And mixing discipline with relationships is so interesting. No one thinks like this. I swear, no guy thinks like this, but you can be disciplined in love. If you only rely on your emotions, sometimes you won't show up for your partner. But what if, this is so weird advice, what if you made a habit tracker when it came to loving your woman? What if on your habit tracker that you wanted to check off daily was something like praise her, hug her? And if you disciplined yourself to do those things every day, even if you didn't feel like it, your relationship would improve, right? How about you've got another one? Hug your mother. Even if you don't feel like it, you get it done, and your life and your relationship with her will improve. You want to get more jacked, you want to attract more girls, you want to make more money online. Discipline is literally the meta skill that's going to help you with all of those, because in a weird way, your emotions, they're almost counterintuitive. Like in general, as a man, achieving success is almost like doing the opposite of what your emotions say. You want to cheat on your girlfriend, you feel like it, don't do it. You want to lie around and masturbate, you feel like doing it, but you do the opposite. You don't want to do the hard work today, but you do the opposite and you do it. You want to lift weight that's too heavy for you and it could result in injury, but you just feel like it because, you know, there's someone watching you in the gym. You discipline yourself not to do it. Discipline will get you to the next level in any of your goals, and it is really a skill that not many young guys are leveling up. How do you level up discipline? The easiest way is through the gym. So when you don't feel like going to hit a workout, you go anyway. When you don't feel like hitting a run today because it's cold or your legs hurt, you go anyway. You try and look for these pockets of opportunities where you can do the thing even though you don't feel like it, and every time you do that, you get some XP in the discipline skill. You know, on a side note, what's interesting, for the last few minutes I've just basically told you to be disciplined, be a good person, and be loving. And you know, the amount of people who have criticized this kind of work, who have said that specifically that I am some toxic misogynist, some hateful guy, some toxic masculinity. And I'm literally just thinking about what I've just told you for the last few minutes of like hugging your girl even though you don't feel like it, because it'll still improve your relationship and it'll make her feel loved. And people literally act like we're evil. You know, the biggest reason why a lot of people in the world think that we are like evil in this men's space that we have here in this community is because we talk about discipline and also stoicism. These like blue-haired feminist type of girls always act in this way of like we're repressing our emotions, and not exactly. Understanding your emotions is very different as a man to being a woman. And really a lot of the things you do want in life come with you understanding that your emotions will lead you into the opposite direction. So it's just crazy to me how we get pointed out by other people when this is the positive message that we're spreading here, which is making everyone better. The more men that can get disciplined, the better the entire world is, especially for women. This is going to be a weird skill you probably didn't expect me to put here in this video, video, but I actually think one of the most important skills that you can learn is actually building an audience on social media. This is probably the most profitable skill that you can learn in business as like a random young guy these days, is knowing what gets views on social media and knowing how to integrate that and actually get the views yourself. If you can pop off on social media these days, that probably is the single greatest business model that you could pursue. The reason why is because it really is like the business that gives you the most freedom. You can work a few hours a week if you want to, and you have like this, it's a lot of people say that this is like a bad thing in some ways, but like a lot of people say that, you know, this is shallow. The followers that you get, it really does resemble modern day status. And these days people like to pretend that they're too cool to like act like they care about status, but really everything comes down to status and your position of the social hierarchy. When you have a lot of followers, your position in the social hierarchy just goes up naturally because, you know, you're seen as more of a leader. And if you're trying to make friends or even attract someone, even if they're not even on social media, they will undeniably like you more if you have more followers. People think this is shallow. It's not. Literally, I meet guys who don't even have social media accounts. I meet guys who are in the military. I meet guys who are professional fighters. And I promise you right now, they still respect me more when they discover that I'm like some big YouTuber, even though they don't even watch YouTube at all. It's just like a universal symbol of like status and achievement these days. So we can be sat here and say, oh, but that's really shallow. I don't really care about social media. Sure. But if you are looking to start some kind of online business and you want to learn skills that are, you know, profitable, that'll help you make money, then knowing how to pop off on social media is actually a really good one. Not only just for the money, but learning this skill and using it to create that business will give you the kind of masculine freedom that you've wanted, where you don't need to go and commute to work every day. And that extra money that comes from this kind of business, you can also use to provide for your family. I have a paid program, which is kind of like a community as well, where I teach about like how to grow on YouTube along with so many other things. And it's called Adonis School. It's like linked in the description if you're interested. The third skill, which I think every man should learn, is focus. But I'm actually going to explain this in a different way. I think focus can be broken down into two parts: micro and macro. Micro focus is for each task. So for example, I'm recording these videos right now. I want to stay focused for this task. Maybe you're going to study after this and you want to stay focused for that 1 hour block of time. This is the kind of focus which most people know about. And it's kind of like the opposite of what TikTok makes you do, where your brain just kind of like, you know, randomly jumps around and you get random memories, you get distracted and your notifications distract you and all that stuff. This is the kind of focus most people know of. There's actually another kind of focus, which is what I call macro focus. This is more on the big picture of you staying focused on like those sort of few core goals that you've got. So for example, you want to build a nice muscular physique over the next few years. Focus will be you committing to that plan and doing a big bulk for the next year or even 2 years to put on a huge amount of muscle mass, and then you're going to cut after that. Lack of focus here is, for example, you're going to constantly keep jumping around from bulk to cut, and you're only looking in the next few weeks, and you get tired of cutting, then you start bulking, then you get tired of bulking, then you start cutting, and you keep flipping around and you lose focus. For entrepreneurs, this is massive as well. You've got this business model, you've got this YouTube channel, you've got this product that you're working on, and you just lose focus and you go start another business model. So many guys who are beginners, this is their problem. They don't realize, and you probably relate to this, keep like constantly asking yourself which business model I should get into. Should I try this one? And you start watching a bunch of videos for this one business model, then you learn one thing about it which isn't very nice, then you switch over to this one, then you try it for like an hour, then you try this one, then this one. When you don't have any focus, you're just not making any progress. So think to yourself as an actionable step right now, how can I improve my micro focus per task? So the one thing you can do, which I really recommend you do right now as this actionable step, go onto your phone and disable the notifications. Disable all of them so your phone doesn't make any random noises when you're trying to focus. Just that one thing will make you more focused and will get you ahead of like 80% of guys instantly. Then the second thing is, how can I be more focused on the macro example? How can I stick to that big thing that I really want to work on? So for me personally, I've just said this to my girl. I said to her, like, I just want to spend the next year just working on a few things, YouTube and my products. That's it. That's all I want to think about for the next year, YouTube and my products. I have a phenomenal opportunity over this next year to really create like generational wealth, to really not only just for me and my family, but also to really have like such an impact on the world if I stay focused. So I can ask myself right now, and you can copy this, what are the ways where I might lose that macro focus over the next few months? For me, I actually know what they are. I'll go and travel and go spend 2 months in like a random different country and lose like a lot of the momentum that I had with work. I'll lose a lot of the focus with like these products and I'll change them too much, or I'll start like a random new product and I'll lose like a lot of this sort of essentialism mindset of just focusing on a few things. I could end up having like a chaotic personal life, which would take that macro focus away from the thing that I want to focus on, which is my work, my leadership, and my business. Write your your examples right now, like really be honest. What over the next few months or year could take away your focus on the big goal that you have? The final skill that I want to tell you is learning. Learning is again like a meta skill, kind of like discipline, which will help you in every other area of your life. By you watching this video, you're currently learning and you're getting random ideas which are genuinely setting you apart from basically everyone else who's like your competition. So many guys slack on the learning and they wonder why they're stuck at like their current income level. They're not making any more than like 20k a year because they stopped learning, they stopped getting knowledge. I read probably around 30 books a year and I'm very happy and proud of that because I know for a fact the reason why I've achieved the success that I have is because of reading books and also just watching a bunch of educational videos on YouTube. Those two things have set me apart from so many people because when you learn things and you start to implement them, it's like everything you do just becomes better. When I make a YouTube video, it's better, no offense, than yours because I've learned so much. I wasn't genetically gifted at making YouTube videos. You can go watch the first ones that I did. They were pathetic. They were terrible. My eye contact was so weird. I wasn't talking well. I wasn't telling good stories. I was like talking too quietly. But with learning the skills, mindsets, and beliefs and taking such an interest and being this kind of student, this lifelong student, it's made me better and better and better at each skill that I've wanted to get into. And that's actually a really big part of it. When you learn, not only can you improve the skills that you're learning about, so for example, you can learn about storytelling and that can help you improve the skill. When you learn, you're actually updating your beliefs, which empowers you. So for example, you have so many like limiting beliefs that have been put into you from school, from your parents, from friends. And when you learn, like you are from this video, or maybe my other videos, or maybe podcasts, that's when those old beliefs that you have that haven't really served you, that haven't got you to a good place in life, they get broken. And then you start to see the world in a different way. And that's probably the most valuable part of learning. And it really is a skill that not many guys are leveling up or doing at all. Not many guys even bother to learn. And I think the reason why is because in the education system, like in school, learning was such a boring, forced thing that we didn't want to do. And that's really sad because so many guys, once they leave school, they basically never learn again. They're 18 years old and they basically die at this age. They don't get any better. The reason why you've gotten better over the last few months and even years is because you've learned and then you just try to use what you learned. That was simply it. That's the reason why you've stood out compared to everyone else you know. And that gap will keep getting bigger and bigger as long as you keep learning. This is why I'm so proud of like the work that I do here, my channel, where I basically give like education to young guys. And also then my products are all about education as well. Adonis School is the product of mine, which is all about like education and giving you all courses and calls and all that stuff. Adonis Gang is more of like the sort of community if you wanted to make friends. Click and watch this video right now. Do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it. Mwah.